Okay, we're live. Let's bring this on. Vinyasa flow. So welcome anybody who's joined. We're going live for our Vinyasa flow. You don't have to play it tonight. You can replay it at another time. I leave the videos up for about a week. So you'll be able to replay it at another time that suits you. So just getting this set up now, our little candle going here. Okay. And we're good. We're good to get started. So if you're there and you're able to send me just a kind of a thumbs up or a hello or a wave, that would be great. Okay, so and then we'll get started. Just check the time. Looking forward to the practice as always. It's just lovely to have a purpose and something to do here. Okay, so I'm just going to give it 2 more minutes here. Make sure that there's nobody texting me. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure who's with me. I'll just send a little hi and see if you're able to respond to that and connect in with that. Okay, just going to give it another couple of minutes and then we'll get started. Just wait 5 minutes just for people to come on and all of that. Just. Okay, not sure who's here. Okay, we'll get cracking. So we're going to come into child's pose to start with. So it's a slow Vinyasa flow. At the moment, the other classes are showing up a lot more popular. The ones that are for resting and relaxing. That's totally understandable. We're coming to the last month of the year, and it's been a funny year for us. Anyway, so we're going to practice this. You can practice it at a later time if you like. Big toe joints together, and we're going to sit our bottom back on our heels as far as it go, and then bring the forehead to the mat. So I had late food now, so the tummy's a bit full, so just be mindful of that. It's best to not eat about, I suppose, an hour and a half before practice, if you ever wondered how far to leave your eating. So just happened the way the day rolled that my food was later on in the evening. So we're here now in the child's pose and allowing ourselves to drop into this space. So what I want you to do here is to start taking deep breaths into the body. Allow the flow of the breath to move up into the shoulders, move from the belly up to the chest. Just really see how that's showing up for you, this breath on this Wednesday evening or whenever you're choosing to replay the video. Inhaling, relaxing your shoulders. Just seeing what that flow of breath is like in the body. Just don't try to change anything. Just allow the flow to come in the breath. Like a deep breath in, and pause, and then a deep breath out. Watch as the breath comes in, where it's going to, and then the places it's really trying to go to. If you're not relaxed fully in the body, see what you can do to relax and surrender the body into child's pose. Each time surrendering with the exhale, releasing, letting go on the shoulders, on the hips, elongating your back here, and just notice what that's like to elongate the back. Return into the breath each time. Okay, nice. I'm going to invite you now to come up to all fours. We're going to move into the practice. I want you to notice how you feel in this practice before we begin. So we're going to bring the right leg out straight. So taking the right leg out straight. We're going to get into our glutes here. This is a fantastic one for stretching and reaching out the glutes. Equalize your hips here and extend that leg long now. Point into your toes, flex your toes, then bring them back towards your shins. So take 3 of those flexion into the ankle. And then we circle the ankle around in one direction. And then circle around in the opposite direction. Here we're going to take a bend in the knee, place the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, and we're going to pulse this up for about 3 or 5 pulses, getting into the glutes. Okay, now we're pointing the toe forward. You're going to point the toe to the right long side of your mat and bring the foot up as far as it'll go. Bring it back down again and point the toes downwards. So 3 of those rounds. 2 leading with your big toe joint all the time. 2 and 1 more leading with the big toe joint. And come back and now place that foot down. So come back to tabletop and take a moment to observe any energy flow, any movement around the glutes. Extend the left leg out straight. Equalize your hips here, shoulders over the wrists. Point into the left toe, flex it towards your shin, pointing, flexing. Encircle the ankle in one direction, and then circle the ankle in the opposite direction. A little bend in the knee, the sole of the foot's facing upwards, and we're going to pulse here for 5. Okay, and then when you're ready, point the toe out, lead with the big toe joint, and bring it up towards the top of your mat, and then point downwards for 3 rounds. Keeping the legs straight and just getting that extension into the glutes. And then 1 more. Beautiful. Come down to all fours now and observe how that feels in your body. Taking our cat-cow, the belly drops, the head looks up. Exhaling, hook the chest up, chin to chest. Inhaling, belly drop, head up. And another round. Exhaling, squeezing the breath out, chin to chest. Come the way back to tabletop. Now I'm going to invite you to come up onto the backs of the knuckles. It's really, really strange if you don't do this, but if you're on a computer all day, it's really, really beneficial. Cat-cow up on the knuckles. See what that's like. Just take 1. Then from here, we're going to turn the hands around. So we're on the backs of the hands, and then we're going to squeeze the fists together like we're squeezing a ball and release. Squeeze and release. So we're undoing any fascial tightness around the wrists and the hands so that we can get into our downward facing dogs so we're going to turn the wrists around to whatever degrees feels right for you and take a little circle motion in here. So what we're doing is releasing out anything that might be showing up in your wrists. If you spend a lot of time on your computer, this is a really good one. And again, returning back to the breath. So now I'm going to plant the hands down, spread the fingers away from each other, middle finger facing forward. We're going to tuck our toes under and take our knees off. Just take your knees off for now. Just take the knees off for now and see what it's like and where you have to engage to be here using your core. And then you're going to bring yourself back with the knees bent into the first downward facing dog. And let's enjoy that first dog, pedaling into it, having fun with it, rocking out your hips and your shoulders. And just noticing and seeing what it's like to be here. Inhaling and exhaling. What's it like to be here? And maybe what's it like to take 1 leg up? All right, and then we take that down and take the other leg up. And just see what that's like to be here. And then come back to your downward facing dog, looking towards the navel. We bring the knees down, go back to where we started, big toe joints together, and then rest. Turn the wrists upwards, release out any tensions there from your down dog. Settle your shoulders down and away from your ears. And return to your breath. See what it's like to be here. See what's going on in your own body. So it's a flow we're doing in the Vinyasa flow. So let's come up to all fours again. And it's a slow Vinyasa flow. Tucking the toes under, we're going to come to another downward facing dog. Now on this one, I want us to release out anything that may be on the back of the body. We're looking towards the navel. We'll bring the left hand over to the right shin, looking underneath the right armpit. Just see what may be showing up with you here. Then take this left hand down and bring the right over, looking underneath the armpit. All right, so from here, sit boulder nice and high. Now we're going to walk to the top of our mat. I'm going to invite you to walk up to the top of your mat. Take your hands to your shins here. And then I'm going to get you to fold your body over into this folding shape. You can take your hands to the backs of your calves. Don't force anything. But at the same time, dive into wherever your mat is on this forward fold. Think of lengthening your body, lengthening your spine, folding the body over. Yeah, it's not a good idea to eat your food before practice. It's just the way it turned out. Inhale, look up. Hands to your hips. Slowly guide yourself up into standing. I have to redirect my camera so that you're able to see me. I'm just going to redirect that now so you're able to get to see my body. I get to see the top of my head without my head chopping off. All right, so we're here at the top of our mat. Inhale, the hands come up over the head. Stretch, reach, look up. Exhale, hinge, forward fold. From your hips, take your hands to the floor, the shins, and the head drop down. Inhale, look up halfway, lengthen out through your spine. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, plant the hands on the mat, and step back to the plank. Hold the plank. What's it like to hold the plank? All right, so you have choices here to drop your knees for a chaturanga or leave the knees not dropped as long as your hips don't come down before your chest. Move yourself forward. Now bend your elbows. Chin chest comes down, but the hips stay high. And then we take the hips down, uncurl the toes, press the hands in, we come up into cobra, baby cobra, full cobra, upward facing dog. See what that's like to be here. And then from here, move yourself back onto the knees. Sit yourself right back and then tuck your toes under and come to a downward facing dog. So flow with your spine here. And it's got to feel yummy in your own body. So flow with your spine here. Look towards the navel and breathe. One more breath. Inhale, take the right leg up towards the ceiling. Take a bend on the right knee, bring it forward, hollow your chest. Come to the ball of the left foot. Step the right foot forward on your mat. From here, float your hands up towards the ceiling. So you're in crescent moon. Engage the legs, draw the inner thighs towards each other. See what it's like to be here in this shape. Activate that back leg. Nice deep breaths. Okay. From here, drop your back heel down on the mat, extend your left arm back, extend your right arm forward to come into your warrior two pose. Look back and see that your foot's parallel to the back of the mat. Your heels are in line with each other, and now you're in your warrior two shape. Now see what it's like to be in the warrior two shape. Shoulders over the hips. Relax the shoulders and breathe. Take the left hand over to the right buttocks, flip the right hand to the ceiling, and come into crescent moon, into peaceful warrior. And seeing what it's like to come into the peaceful warrior. So this is a fiery practice. And we go through this fire, this burn to feel the bliss. Straighten the right leg, extend the right arm forward. Keep it coming forward as far as you can, then bring it down to your shin or your ankle. Stack your left shoulder on top of your right shoulder. And when you're right, then bring your left hand up to come into Trikonasana triangle. Let's see what it's like to be in here, in your triangle shape. Now we're going to bend this knee and bring both of the feet down to the mat and step back to a plank. I'm going to see what it's like to be in our plank shape. Really engage your core. Come down to chaturanga. You drop your knees first if you need to. If you don't, then bend the elbows, take the chin, chest down, and then the hips come down, uncurling the toes. Up we come for baby, upward facing dog, baby cobra, full cobra. Look forward, drop your shoulder blades down. From here, come back onto the knees. Bring your buttocks back to lengthen out your spine here. Plant your hands on the mat. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. What's it like to be in your downward facing dog? Looking towards your navel. Breaths are nice and deep. Inhale, the left leg comes up. Take a bend on the left knee, hollow the chest, step the foot between the hands. Then when you're ready, take your hands off, really grounding and engaging the legs, and bring the hands up over the head for the crescent moon. Relax the shoulders, engage the inner thighs, square the shoulders and hips. Zip up underneath your navel and watch that your ribs are not flaring out. Nice deep breaths here. Seeing what it's like to be here in the crescent moon. Drop the back heel down. Make sure that the foot's parallel with the mat behind and extend the arms out straight. Look out over the left middle finger, and now you're in warrior on this side. Now see what it's like to be in the warrior on this side. Relaxing. To figure out what to do with the camera. Maybe I need to push my mat back a little bit more for this practice. Left hand over to the right buttocks. Right hand over to the left buttocks. Flip the left hand to the ceiling into the peaceful warrior. And what's that like in the peaceful warrior? Nice deep breaths. Now when you're ready, straighten your left leg, extend your left arm forward. Keep it coming forward. And then take it down to your shin or your ankle or the floor, wherever it's going to come to, where it feels comfortable in your body. And extend your right arm up. You want long length in your spine here. Looking up, seeing what it's like to be here in Trikonasana, triangle. And with company. Hey, Bailey. Bailey loves yoga. Don't you love yoga, Bailey? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Bailey loves. Now from here, we bring both of the hands down. And then we're going to step back to the plank. Okay, and then from the plank, move the body forward, down to the chaturanga. Drop the knees first if you need to. Now drop the hips and curl the toes. Make your way up into upward facing dog. Look forward to this or to cobra. Then from here onto the knees, you sit your bum back, get a long length in your spine, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Is it because we mentioned the dog, Bailey? Sit bones nice and high and breathe. Spread the hands away from each other. Oh dear, she's just gone. Nice deep breaths. And I'm going to invite you to come down onto your knees. Bring toe joints together, sit your bottom back on the heels and bring the forehead to the mat and rest. She's going out again. Okay, good job. So here in the child's pose, have a see what that's like to be there in the child's pose. Okay, I'm not thinking about what's coming next. Just notice the fire in the body from this practice. So this yin yoga, which we've been practicing a lot, is where you go through the bitter to feel the bliss. In this type of yoga, you go through the burn, the fire. You go through in yin yoga, you go through the bitter to feel the sweet. In this yoga, you go through the fire. Okay, let's go again. When you're ready, spread the fingers away, come up to another downward facing dog. Let's see what it's like to be here in this downward facing dog. And then take your left leg up. It's like to take this lovely stretch in the body. Take a little bend in the left knee, bring it forward, hollow the chest, step the foot between the hands. Plant the back foot down and walk your hands towards the long side of your mat. Walk your feet out a tad bit more if you're able to do that. Bring the feet out a little bit more. Inhale, look up. Bring the feet right out. And on the exhale, we're going to fold. Bring the fingertips in line with the toes. Drop the head down. Keep the feet out nice and wide here. And take your hands to the shins here and just look and see what it's like to be here. Deep breaths. Inhale, look up. Take your hands to your hips. Exhale, slowly bring yourself up. Okay, good job. Then hands come behind, interlock the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lead with your breastbone. Pull the body over, taking the arms with you. What is it like here? Nice, nice deep breaths. Inhale, look up, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, slowly bring yourself up. Parasarita, wide-legged forward fold. And the next one, left hand comes down and the right hand comes up. It's a little bit like a windmill. Right hand comes down and the left hand comes up. Okay, so now we're going to bring the feet out 45 degrees and walk yourselves over into the surfer stretch. As long as it feels okay in your own body. Stay that right leg out straight. Plant this left hand down. Make sure this left knee is not twerking. And the right hand comes up. Let's see what that's like to be here. Breathing into this space. And then we take the left hand down. The right hand down and the left hand comes up. The left hand down. Point your toe. Walk yourself over into the surfer stretch. Make sure it's not hurting your knee. Left hand comes up. What's it like to be here? What's showing up in your own body? Okay, the left hand comes down, walk yourself back to the center, straighten the legs and bring the right hand up. And then slowly bring yourself around. And then step back to the plank. Hold the plank. From here, bring the shoulders forward, bring the elbows, bring the chin chest down. Uncurl the toes, come on up into upward facing dog, cobra. From here, come back onto the knees, move yourself back, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Look towards the navel. 3 breaths, hollow the armpits. I'm going to weigh down onto the knees. Well done. Big toe joints together. Sit the bottom back on the heels and bring the forehead to the mat. Well done. Just notice what that's like. And breathe. Now take your time to make your way up onto your knees. And on your knees, slide your hands forward to bring your forehead down to the mat, sitting your bottom back and melting your heart towards the mat to come into the extended puppy pose. Getting into the shoulders. What's that like? Come up onto the fingertips. Melt yourself down into the shape. And see what it's like. And breathe. Slowly come back to child pose, let that go. Rest your arms alongside your feet and relax. Come back to the go. So when you're ready, extend your arms forward, tuck your toes underneath and come to another downward facing dog. So we're going to come into a shape here where we're going to fly ourselves into half moon. So this is a level 3 advanced shape. You know, play around with it, have a go with it, and just show you where you go in yoga and how far you can go. So inhale, take the left leg up, take a little bend in the left knee, hollow the chest, bring it forward, step the left foot forward on the mat. Then from here, fly up your right leg, bring your left hand down to the mat. Find your balance here, engaging your legs, inner thighs muscles, hands on the hip, and then extend the arm up for your shape of, I'm cheating, I'm using the wall so I can turn around to look at you. So we're coming into your shape of half moon pose. So where do you need to make your adaptations, your lengthening of your spine, your engagement of your legs, into the half moon and what's it like to be in the half moon. Reverse your half moon, bring your right hand down, pivot your hips around, and then take your left hand up into the reverse half moon. So where do you need to make your adaptations here to go here? Left hand comes down, bring this leg up and walk yourself in so you're coming into the standing splits. Let's see what it's like to go in here. Okay, now very slowly land that foot back down on the mat so you're in the lunge and step back to the plank. Whew, see what that was like in the body. Down for Chaturanga. Moving up into your Cobra. From here, back onto the knees, bring them back. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. We're going to repeat all of that sequence now on the other side, flying ourselves into the half moon shape. This time the right leg comes up. We take a bend on the right knee, we bring it forward, we hollow up the chest, step the right foot between the hands. Then when you're ready, fly the left leg up. Right hand to the mat, left hand to the left hip. Pivot yourself around, flex into your feet, engage your legs. Extend the left arm up, look up if you can. If looking up is challenging, then stay looking down on the floor. Pick a spot that moves, that doesn't move. Into half moon on this side. Left hand comes down, pivot your feet. So you're coming to the reverse half moon. Extend the spine long. All right, welcome to the dark side yoga. Both hands down, extend that left leg up, walk yourself into the present moon. And the left foot down, into the lunge. Step back to the plank. Shoulders over the wrists, hook the belly in. Nice deep breaths. Bring yourself forward. Bring the elbows, chin chest comes down. Drop the belly down and curl the toes. Up to Cobra. Full Cobra. And then come away back. Sitting into child's pose, let it go. Don't eat before you practice. 90 minutes before you practice, do not eat. Okay, relax the shoulders, come into the child pose and see what it's like to be here. Relax the wrists. And just notice what it's like to be here. Nice deep breaths. Okay, so now take your time to come up to all fours. Good job. So here in all fours, we're tucking our toes in and we're coming up to a downward facing dog. From your down dog, look forward. Step your left foot on the outside of your right hand and your left foot on the outside of your left hand and your right foot on the outside of your right hand to come into the yogi squat. And a really powerful one to learn and to adapt hanging out in here. If you ever see toddlers, they just hang out here all the time. No cramps, but we've just created kind of tightness in our body. Your back shouldn't hurt in this. So I'm in the yogi squat, maybe rocking it out. And then we're going to put our hands on the mat and come to a forward fold. Point your toes forward and fold your body over. Extend your toes out to the side again. Sit down into the yogi squat. And then from here, folding yourself over again. And then back down to the squat. Okay, we're going to extend our arms forward. And we're going to slowly land down on our bottom and take our legs up into the boat. Engage your core. You need to engage your core to hold it here. I'm going to lower this boat. We need to use our core to lower the boat down. Make sure it doesn't hurt your back. And then come back up. Hug your thighs into your chest. We'll extend the legs out again for the boat. And then slowly lower your boat down. And hug the thighs in again. Okay, and then another boat, 3 boats all together. Lower the boat down. Bring it back up again. Hug the thighs in. Okay, now we're going to roll ourselves back, and then we're going to roll ourselves up into the squat, the yogi squat, without the hands touching the mat. So get that momentum, so you're up. Woo! Good stuff. So now you're back in the yogi squat, and see what it's like. I'm going to turn this way in my yogi squat so you can see what I'm doing next. So in the yogi squat, left hand comes down, and the right hand comes up. Let's see what that's like. Or take this hand over to the shin. You need to, if it's too extreme to have it down, bring it over to the shin. See what it's like to be here. And then the other side. And then come back to your squat again and just hang out here. See what it's like to hang out here. And I would suggest to do this a little bit more for your own body. Okay, so we're going to sit down on our mat now. I'm going to take both of our feet out in front, move the flesh out. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to fold the body forward into a forward fold, leading with your breastbone. And just seeing what it's like and how does your body feel after all of that movement. Definitely brought heat into the body, which is detoxifying. And then we slowly come away up out of that. We're going to come lie down on our mat now. We're going to go into a back bend here. So when you're ready, bring your feet in as close as you can to the buttocks. Palms of hands facing downwards. And when you're ready, use your feet, inner thighs, your buttocks to guide yourself up. Interlock your fingers here. Shuffle your shoulders together. And up you come into the bridge. And see what that's like to be here in the bridge. Using the inner thighs and the glutes. Breathing into that. Releasing and slowly come down. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Land yourself down on the mat and just notice how that feels in the body. And when we're ready, soles of the feet in the mat, slowly start to guide yourself up again into the bridge. Interlock the fingers, shuffle the shoulders together. Now if you want to go a little bit further here, try taking the right leg up if you feel like you need to challenge yourself a little bit more. And same on the other side. Bring both feet down. Get up as high as you possibly can in your bridge. Using your legs, not compromising your back. Release the hands and slowly come down. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Just take a moment and observe how that feels in your own body. When you're ready, hug the backs of your thighs into your chest. Guide your forehead up to meet your knees. So relax the shoulders down and away from the ears. Exhale, release the head down. We take the soles of the feet up to the ceiling and we come into the happy baby. Rocking out your happy baby from side to side. Chin in line with the midline. Releasing this out, bring the big toe joints together, hands on the knees, a circle motion here. And change that circle direction around. Hugging the backs of the thighs into the chest, press the shoulder bones and the hip bones into the mat. Take the hands out, bring the feet to 90 degrees. Slowly start to take that 90 degrees down to one side and gaze and look to the other side with your head. So into this reclined twist. Just releasing out anything on the back. Relax your shoulders. Relax your whole body and see what you can do to surrender into this. Then come away back into the center again and take the knees down to the left, and look towards your right. Then we come back into the center, hook the thighs in. I invite you to cross at your shins and roll yourself up into a seated position. In the seated position, I'm going to get you to take your feet out in a shape of a V, out as far as you can, and we're going to go into a nice little stretch here. So bring them out as far as you can, and then fold yourself forward, leading with your breastbone. I come back on my chair a little bit more, on my mat a little bit more, so you can get to see me. Okay, and then fold into this, extending the legs, relaxing the shoulders. Relax and come into this shape and see what it's like. Not forcing it, but also seeing where your max is and where you can relax a little bit more to dive in a little bit deeper. Breathe and observe what it's like to be here. Just letting go. At the same time, getting curious about what's stopping you from going down a little bit further. Beautiful. Slowly take your step up. Nice work. Bring the soles of your feet together and take your little butterfly wings. Lovely. You want to release out the SI joint. Extend one leg forward and bring the right foot on the inner aspect of the left thigh. Take this hand to the floor and bring this right hand up over your head to come into this shape here. And just see what it's like to be in here in this shape. Releasing out anything on the side of the body, freeing out anything on the side of the body. Come back into the center and we swap that over. Into the other side. What's it like to be in here? Relax your shoulders away from your ears, breathing into this. Sit on the ground and into the mat. And slowly come back up. Beautiful. Okay, we extend both of our legs out in front of us. We're going to point your toes forward and take your hands behind with your fingertips facing towards the top of the mat. And from here, you're going to use the strength of your hands to lift your hips up, squeeze your thighs together, and come into the reverse plank. What's it like to be here in this reverse plank? Taking your head back is totally up to you. And keeping it in line with your chin and your chest, coming up into this reverse plank. Slowly come down. Bend your knees, turn your hands around the other way, and then come up into the swinging bridge, releasing out, and on the hips. And again. And again. This time we bring our hips forward and bring them close to the heels. Bend your elbows and lift the chest up. Okay, what's that like? Beautiful. Okay, so release that out. Extend your feet in front of your body. Bring your hands behind. You can have your fingertips facing whichever way feels right for you. We're going into another back bend. We're going to lift the chest up here. So we're going to lift the chest up. And then keep the chin in line with the midline. Open up, squeezing the rhomboids. Squeezing the shoulders, pointing to the toes. And you're coming into the shape, which is your back bend. Grounding the lower body onto the mat. Just see what that's like. Release that out. Cross at your body over into Sukhasana, which is a good one for boosting up your energy, and it's a great hip opener as well. So in we come here to this one, relaxing. See what's showing up here in the body. And then very slowly make your way up. Left hand to the right knee, right hand behind. Lift up your chest and take a twist to look over your shoulder. Let's see what that's like to come into that twist. Keeping your torso straight. So you're not leaning back or leaning forward. Keeping the torso straight. Beautiful. And then we're going to cross the legs over to the other side. Flex into the feet and we fold the body forward. Walk your fingertips as far as you can. Fold and look in towards the navel. And relax. And again, see what that's like to be here. Breathing, relaxing. Now take your time to come all the way up. Bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind, lift up your chest and twist. Good job. Now slowly come back. Come and lie down on your mat. Just notice your whole body after all of those shapes. And a lot of them are really strong and challenging. Just notice how that was for you to go through that challenging stuff. So bring your thighs into your chest here. Take a little rock and roll as you massage into the back of your body. And then the hands and the knees, a little circle motion here. Massage into the shoulders and the hips. And change that direction around. We come back into the center. We come up for the good old happy baby to release out the lower back, to stretch into the hamstrings and the calves, and just take a little rock out from side to side and see what that's like. And then we'll release the thighs into the chest again. Extend both of your legs up straight and give yourself a moment just to allow the blood to flow the opposite way. Flex into your feet if you need to. I'm going to release and bring the soles of the feet down to the mat. Bring the feet out to the edges of your mat and take your little windscreen wipers from side to side, turning your head the opposite way. And coming back into the center, bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop out into this subtle hip opener, where gravity will allow you to do the work here in this one. So all you need to do is just hang out here and breathe. If you like, take your hands up over your head. And just seeing and noticing what it's like to be here, surrendering. What may be showing up in your own body right now. Now, whenever you feel ready, you can extend your legs out, extend your arms out so you look like a starfish. Chin in line with the midline. Shimmy out your shoulders and your hips. Allow your body to settle into this space of surrender for the last part of the practice, the Shavasana, relaxation. You don't need to do anything here, just to breathe and surrender. And just see and notice what it's like to be here. And try not to let your head get in the way, any thinking. So all it's going to do is ruin it for you. So just leave all the thoughts to one side.
Now you're so welcome to stay here longer, and especially if it's really sweet. Whenever you feel like it's ready to come out, wriggle your fingers and your toes, bend your knees, place your feet on the mat. Stretch and reach. Let your body roll to the side. Rest your hand on rest your ear on the softness of your inner arm and take a moment to reflect on the practice and if it was challenging and how you got yourself through that challenge, and observe and be aware of all of that and bring that into the beauty of this type of yoga. It really helps you to learn how to navigate through challenging stuff because you're challenging yourself to do these really advanced shapes and poses in yoga. So that's the beauty of the practice, and that's where, in my opinion, it has its place, where we do meet some challenging curves in our life, and when we work through the challenging shapes that yoga has to present, we learn to work through the challenges that life gives us. So when you're ready, you take your hands up to come out of the practice, and thank you so much for those of you who join me live. Those of you who get to watch this practice later on, I hope that you enjoy the challenge. So from my heart to yours, namaste, and I shall see you soon for our next class.